You're listening to FitPro Sessions with Parallel Coaching, episode number 30. Hi, I'm Neil Bergman, and in today's episode, myself and Hayley are talking about newly qualified FitPros and where the hell do we start? So stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Neil Bergman.
And I'm Hayley Bergman. Over the last 10 years, we've helped thousands of fitness professionals to get qualified, learn with simplicity, and coach clients with confidence.
We're the first to say that learning and being a FitPro doesn't have to be hard work, and that with the right structure, support and resources, you can become a confident and knowledgeable fitness professional that is dedicated to more.
So how do you learn, qualify and kickstart as a FitPro? This is the FitPro Sessions podcast with Parallel Coaching.
So the certificate lands on your doorstep. We've both been there.
Yeah.
It's an amazing feeling.
Yeah,
Okay.
Qualified.
Proof
that you're qualified.
You take it out the envelope, you know what it is. It says do not bend. You pull it out, you immediately,
You get that little...
I'm qualified. And then you take a selfie or you take a picture of it, you whack it up on the Instagram, straight onto Facebook, and you get a ton of likes, a ton of comments going, well done, well done, well done, well done. But like, what now?
And that's the reflection of all that time,
That's the
effort,
certificate.
money.
It's almost like it's an amazing feeling, but it's just like a little bit of paper.
That whole big journey, and then...
It reflects, 3,
some
4,
paper.
5 months. For some of you listening, potentially even a good couple of years.
Yeah.
Like you work with quite a few people one-to-one coaching, but are coming close to the end of their 2-year
deadline
for your course. And then they finally do qualify. And it's a reflection of so much hard work, grit, determination, graft, tears, toys out the pram.
Decisions you've made or not made.
Yeah, completely.
Oh.
The maybe referrals of exams. I don't know, but it's a reflection. And there's the certificate. And it's like,
I did it.
I did it. But what do I do now?
What the hell do I do now?
What the hell do I do now? And that's what today is all about.
Absolutely.
You're starting out as a new FitPro, or maybe you've recently just qualified and you're sitting there in this void of like, I just don't know where to start.
And I think that feeling happens with everybody.
Yes.
But it's reported that only 20% of all qualified FitPros, those that have that certificate, will actually be working actively in the industry, fitness industry, after 18 months.
So after 18 months, they're still qualified. You're
still
qualified.
qualified,
But
you're actively
working.
That's crazy.
That's sad.
Only 20%.
That's actually quite that permission to swear pisses me off. That's I think one of my biggest reasons why we started Parallel.
Yeah.
Was to give people the confidence and competence to go beyond the 18 months.
Yeah, and once they and to start, because sometimes it's people get that certificate and then they don't even start. They just go back to their full-time job, and they just can't take that first step. And granted, some people decided to qualify for their own knowledge. They weren't going to change career.
Yes,
but certainly not 80%.
Completely. I think once the certificate comes through the door, there's a real big self-realization that it just got real.
Yeah.
You no longer have to learn A&P. You no longer have to think about planning or completing your LAP or the anxiety or stress of an assessment, what they might ask. Are they going to ask me questions? Whatever. And all of that's a big sigh of relief. And you kind of, well, there's this void in your day, in your week, in your time. And now you're like, well, what do I do with that? I've got all this knowledge, but what do I now do with that?
Yeah, and you want to start using that to work with clients or whatever it might be. But everybody's got their own barriers along the way.
And then there's like a new problem comes along of, if I'm going to take this really serious, then am I going to have to give up my job?
When does that happen?
When do I consider handing in my notice?
Will I make enough money?
Then there's things like, well, do I need to be on social media? How do I set up the biggest question we get asked around that is, do I need a business, a Facebook page?
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
Yes, you do.
Yes, you do.
Do I need park use? Yes, you do.
It's like real basic stuff. And I don't mean to be like derogatory about this, but like, I get it. Like, we've both been there of like, where the hell do we start? And what do we do with that? And so then there's the next problem of like, so I've got my Facebook page set up. Now I've got to put content out there.
What do I put on it?
What do I put on it?
Where do I start?
Where do I start? What will people say? What will my mum think of this? What will my family and friends judge me on this?
Or your PT, if you were trained by a PT.
What will they think?
What will they think?
And so we're stuck in this analysis of the world, and we paralyze ourselves, and paralysis of analysis, and we stay stuck with this wicked bit of paper, but just not knowing how to move forwards.
So we got 4 principles for you to follow.
4 principles.
4 things.
I love this one.
It's awesome.
I like all the FitPro sessions, but this is, I genuinely believe these 4 things
will actually really help you stay in.
Yes.
And get the best opportunity as you start.
Yes.
Because if you start well, it's like on any journey. Like if you go on a journey from like 200 miles from your house, wherever that may be, and you set out and you're like, cool, if you start well with all the snacks in the car, the fuel tank's full up,
a satellite navigation,
a sat nav, especially if I'm driving, that you're ready. Do you know what I mean?
It's not for me to suggest, but Hayley would get lost very quickly.
Yes, I'd get lost and I might not make it 200 miles down the road.
Amazing. Oh, dear.
Either way, driving aside, your oil's filled up, your car pressure, tyre pressures are right. All those things need to happen at the beginning of the journey so that you can actually roll on down the road and actually get further down the line.
Yeah.
So starting out is important. Let's do these 4 principles,
so principle
shall we?
number 1 is
goals and numbers.
Goals and numbers. So first off, let's just go on your analogy very quickly. If the goal was to drive 200 miles away, okay, and the outcome is I'm 200 miles away at a particular specific destination, then what must I have en route to ensure I get there?
Yes.
That's part of the goal.
Exactly.
Correct?
Exactly.
So it's a specific outcome.
You know where you want to go.
I know where I want to go, but what must I have in my car, on me? What skills, tools, systems, strategies must I have to ensure I get there?
Safely and also timely, and have a bit of fun along the way.
Sounds like smart goal setting, doesn't it?
I think it is. So it starts with being clear about what you need and want and by when.
Yeah.
It's fair enough saying I'm going to get to Milton Keynes, I'm going to get to London, whatever it is. But when do you want to get there by?
Yes.
Really important. Like you can't be like, oh, I'm going to get there, but I'm actually just going to walk and it's going to take me 10 days.
10 days.
Well, I needed to get there in 4 hours.
Completely. So if you're thinking you're just starting out and you're going to, am I going to be able to earn enough money? Am I going to be able to get enough clients? That's the question we're answering here is what do I want and when do I want it by?
So how much money?
Yeah.
How many hours do you want to work?
Yeah.
And when by for both of those. And I would set goals for 1 month, 3 months, 12 months and 3 years.
Completely. So something we talk about heavily on our PT course for special ops courses.
Yeah.
And
our business kickstart.
And business kickstart. So inside the exercise referral, we do a live training every week. We mention it in there. The kickstart is like riddled with it. It's just basically saying, right, I'm here. In a month's time, I want to be here. Or I must be there, and that's a prerequisite, which allows me to get to the end of month 2, end of month 3. End of month 1 is a milestone because, like, you're a month in, you're just fresh out the gates, you're really hungry and thirsty for this. And then month 3, 12
But similarly,
weeks,
you might have other barriers at 1 month like time.
Yes, completely.
Yeah,
and then at month 3, there's a new kind of milestone, set of problems, and then you can say, right, where do I want to be in month 6? What do I want it to look like? How many clients must I have? How many clients must I need? What am I going to charge? Where am I going to be located? How much am I going to charge?
And again, at 12 months and 3 years.
And exactly.
And that might change. You might get 6 months down the line and totally rip up your plan and start again. But you've got to have something to aim for.
You've got to have, and that, I think you've just hit the nail on the head. Like, you've got to have something to aim for.
You've got to have something to put in your sat-nav, right?
So you've got to have a specific postcode to put in your sat-nav. So I can't just leave my house and just drive 200 miles in any direction because I could literally drive 200 miles and go around the same mile 200 times.
Yeah, true.
And just end up back where I'm at, which is what so many FitPros must do if so many people drop out.
Yeah.
What we're saying is, where is my specific destination going to be in 1 month's time, in 6 months' time, in 1 year's time, 12 months' time, and head in one direction?
Not the band.
Not the band. And then, after a certain amount of time, you might course correct and go, actually, I want to head over here.
So you start off going to London, then you get there and you're like,
actually, I wanted to work with this type of person. I'll start to course correct.
There you go. goals and numbers. You've got to know your goals and numbers, but they might change over time. So you've got to set them.
Something we do on the PT course towards the end of a course actually is knowing the numbers of how what is the specific number every month that I must make.
And you call this your freedom number.
I call this my freedom number. So this includes your rent, your mortgage, your council tax, your fuel for your car, your insurance, your house insurance, your food, your bills, your gas, your electric.
I'm always amazed how people don't know this.
And include everything in that. How many haircuts you get in a month.
Your insurance for your car.
Your insurance for your car.
Yearly holiday.
Your yearly holiday, your Spotify, your Netflix. And when you know this number, maybe that might be kind of hard to work out. So maybe you work it out for a month and some things are yearly. So you divide it by 12.
Yeah.
But once you know that number, you can categorically say, right, I must earn, for the purposes of this, £1,500 in a month. If I get £1,500 in a month, I am good. Now, you might be on have a salary that brings in £2,000 a month. We're always going to live to our means.
Yeah.
But the reality is, for the purposes of this example, you only needed £1,500. So rather than think I must be on a journey to replace my income straight away by the end of month one, know that actually your first destination is how do I get to £1,500 timely, quickly.
Ooh, that is solid advice. If you're starting out, that is just like, then all the little minute detail of how do I do it, what do I do, where do I go, just evaporates, because as long as you get that, it doesn't matter.
I had a coaching call yesterday with a guy, and he was saying about replacing his income. And I was like, you don't want to replace your income. You want to do something you love. You want to help more people and do something you love. Okay. Again. But you want to surpass your income, right? Or maybe not. Maybe you want a bit more freedom, a bit more time, and actually it was never about the money. But you now must know that number was £1,500. But it might be, we don't want to replace your number like for like, because now you're just replacing job for job. You're in a self-employed business owner place now. You can actually go beyond your £2,000 you make at the moment. You can go beyond whatever it is you earn, because there's evidence in our industry with the body coach, James Smith, Jamie Alderton, so many other FitPros that are killing it out there. They're no different from you or I. They're no different to you. They might have a few more years in the industry, but they started off somewhere. And if you go back and watch their content, you'll find out that they're just normal people doing normal things. And they have the same fears, the same worries, the same anxieties as you and I.
And they might, that goal that they've got now might not have been their goal when they started.
No, but the difference is when they started,
they had a goal.
They had a goal. They had a destination, somewhere to head towards.
Awesome. That was just number one.
Bam!
Number two, love this one, and I think it's pretty short.
What is it?
Get a coach or mentor.
Get a coach or mentor.
Just don't do it on your own. So a mentor might be someone that's done what you want to do.
Yeah, can I have a drink?
Yeah.
Sorry.
A coach or mentor might be so a mentor is somebody that's done what you want to do, that's walked that path already.
Yeah.
Whereas someone else that's maybe a coaching role for you could be a formal coach, but it could be just a friend, a family member, someone that can hold you accountable to those goals and deadlines.
Effectively, that's what you are as a fitness professional, whether you do PT, yoga, Pilates, spin, aqua, kids, older box, I don't care what you do, you're a very good accountability coach in the discipline you're qualified in.
Yes.
So the question is what skills or tools do I currently lack? And therefore, do I need a coach to fill that void and hold me accountable to learning that and give me a very clear pathway to learn that material? Or do I need a mentor, somebody that's, I've got those skills and I just need someone to hold me accountable?
Yeah, and a mentor has been there before, whereas a coach doesn't have to have been there before.
In an ideal world, I think a coach has to have certainly experienced it before.
They definitely,
They've got to be a master at their art. So, for example, we have a coach around certain parts in our business because there's certain parts inside Parallel that we don't have the knowledge, strategies, tools or skill set in. And so we have a coach that has given us a particular platform for us to learn from. And then we have, I'm kind of trying to get my words out, weekly action tasks to go and practice.
The coach guides us where we're going to go. Yeah, amazing.
And that's catapulted us. That's absolutely catapulted.
And also, you don't get lost. You know, Neil was saying about you don't want to do the 200 miles going round and round in circles.
Yes.
You're not going to. If a coach is telling you, like, that's the postcode you've got to put in.
Yes.
To, like, go there. Just put that in there and I'll tell you what service station to stop at on the way.
Exactly.
Like, you actually know.
Yes.
Awesome.
And like, carrying on with that analogy, the coach will turn around and go, okay, you're coming up to a roundabout, put your brakes on.
Oh, that's the sat nav.
That's for sat nav.
At the rotary, turn left.
Turn left. You know, the coach will say, change gear now. That's what the coach does.
Yeah,
completely.
Nice. Awesome. Let's fire into number 3. Number 3 is focus on solid foundations. So most fit pros that bail out the industry early on, like I said, about 20% stay in, or they don't even start. And that's because they had low confidence or zero experience.
Which is understandable. You've just been, you've just passed. You've just passed. Of course, you're going to feel, and I don't want to come across as, I don't know what the word is, like jovial about this or relaxed about it. Like, I get it. We've both been there, and a number of things. A lot of times, of course, you're going to feel low in confidence, and you're going to have no experience. And when you do compare yourself to other people on social media, there is going to be a polarity, and that's okay. Yeah, really, that's the facts.
Yeah,
that's the facts. So we have to kind of deal with that and go, cool, how am I going to increase my confidence? Here's a question, actually. So I was on the gym course last weekend in Milton Keynes in the MK Academy. Somebody turned around and said, you know, when I get going, I just want to get more confidence. And I asked the question, how will you know when you've got more confidence?
When you've got enough.
When you've got enough. And they literally looked at me baffled.
Yeah.
I said, is that in 3 months' time, 6 months' time? Is that after 10 clients, 20 clients? And they went, I don't know. So if we go back to the first point, which is about knowing your numbers and goals, if your goal is to get more confidence, how are you going to measure, manage, and monitor your confidence? How are you going to categorically turn around and say, I'm pretty confident in that?
Yeah.
Because I don't think we're ever going to feel 100% confidence, because the moment we feel like we know it all, our ego's crushed and we realize that we don't know it all.
Yeah, absolutely.
We open a new book and go, oh shit, I didn't know that. And somebody turns up and goes, oh, have you tried this? You go, I've never done that. And suddenly our confidence, it's like, confidence is an emotion like happiness and joy. 1 minute I can feel happy, the next minute I can feel sad. 1 minute I can feel confident, the next minute I doubt myself. 1 minute I feel really, really like, bam, I've got this. And the next minute I'm crippled by anxiety. It's just an emotion, and emotions don't exist. So the question is if you're after, or people are dropping out because they are low in confidence, they're not asking the right question.
And maybe they're not hunting in the right place.
Okay.
So
Completely.
If you're low on confidence, but you're trying to do something, let's say that you're not even confident whether you can coach or instruct somebody, the foundations, when you first qualify, like, I don't know what that first session will look like. You also don't want to have to deal then with all the sales, all of the going out and finding all the marketing, all of that other steep curve. Whereas actually you can learn all of that on someone else's time, and it would be great experience. So you can focus on one thing at a time and set those solid foundations, build your confidence like a ladder.
So I'm currently enrolled on a course at Bournemouth Uni.
Yeah.
We're not going to go into the ins and outs of it. I'll be honest, my confidence when I turned up to day one, it was a lot of anatomy and physiology involved. I thought, I've got this, because our main product is anatomy and physiology. I tell you what, I was out of my depth. I was so far out of my depth, because the average person on this course was 3rd, 4th, 5th year osteopath, chiropractor, and GPs, masters. I was like, I don't get this.
Not the same.
I was like, anyway, I got to go and practice certain parts. And so I'm literally just hunting and begging family and friends, can I try this? Can I do this? Can I do this? And the amount of people that have put their hand up and said, yeah, I'll be a body, I'll be a guinea pig.
It's experience.
It's experience. And I can genuinely say that I feel quite confident.
But it allows you to go over those foundations. So you're going over all of those foundations whereby they can, and you can learn, make lessons, you can make mistakes.
Oh, I've made plenty of mistakes.
You can make problems.
We actually came back, we were recording this, beginning of March. This morning I had a session with a client, and I actually walked out, I was like, I totally forgot the whole second part.
Yeah.
and that's
okay.
Because you're allowed to.
And you're focusing on those foundations of like, actually, I've got this coaching skill, or I've got this instructing skill, or I've got this planning skill, and you're focusing on those foundations.
I always remember I walked out and I was like, oh, damn it, I forgot that. And I reminded myself of what my mentor said to me, who's actually on the podcast, Bob Hope, episode number, whatever, the circuits one.
Mm-hmm.
Is it safe, Neale? Is it effective? I was like, it was safe. It was effective. Boom. Now, let's backtrack. If I was starting fresh out the gates today, what would I do? I would do exactly what I did back in the mid-2000s.
I would too. I wouldn't change a thing.
I wouldn't change a thing. I would go and get a part-time gym job.
I was maternity cover in a ladies-only gym.
The maternity cover, I can't remember what it's called.
Imara.
Yeah, Imara
ladies.
ladies. And so how many hours did you do?
I think it was like 16 hours a week.
It was an 8-hour shift and 2 4 hours.
Yes, of course, you've got good memory. And it was my first introduction to those kind of long hours or weird hours like opening and closing and learning about that. But it was also, like, I learned so much about gym induction and what people actually do ask you and the clients. I learned loads. I made mistakes. I also learned how to clean gym equipment for the first time. But I had a lot of valid lessons. And those lessons, I think I was only there for 3 months in the end.
Because you moved on. Because
I moved on.
Grew.
I was like, cool, I'll build on that foundation somewhere else.
And I worked at a private health club down here in Cornwall, St Melian.
Yeah.
And I did Saturday, Sunday one weekend, and then just for Sunday the next weekend to cover Steve.
Yeah.
Good old memory there. And we used to do that. So I go Saturday, Sunday, Sunday, Saturday, Sunday, Sunday. And it was what? A 16-hour shift or 2 8 hours and then an 8-hour shift. But in that time, I did multiple gym inductions, so many gym inductions. And, you know, people would be like, why is he so like thirsty for doing basic gym inductions? I'm like, I've just qualified. I just want to get my confidence up and experience. So I'd get males, females, all different shapes, all different sizes, all different goals. I'd end up chatting to people on the gym floor late at like 9:30 on a Sunday night. And it was that communication, it was that rapport build, it was building up that know, like, and trust. It was finding out what people struggled with, the bottlenecks in their diet, why they messed up in their mindset, why they kept sabotaging. And all this has built up to today. So if I was starting now, and maybe you've already got a job, career, maybe you've got kids and you're thinking, well, I can't do that. Maybe, you know, consider going to your local gym and saying, could I volunteer for 4 hours a week? Could I just do 2 hours a week?
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure there's going to be a facility or a gym that is going to allow you to do that. And in that 4 hours, you can hopefully get 2 or 3 people through a gym induction or whatever it might be. Because
it gives you experience.
Yes, that's where
and that's the solid foundations. I agree. I'd get in club.
You don't need to be there very long at all. How long's a bit of string? I think I was at St Melian before we moved. I moved into a really good, we moved up to Milton Keynes, do you remember? And I moved into a kind of assistant manager gym role and kind of lead PT.
And I left Amara 3 months I was there before I was deputy manager at Holiday Inn, wasn't I?
Completely. So it doesn't take long to build up the confidence and experience. You've just got to go out and find it. It's not going to come to you. So number 4.
Let's do this. Number 4. I like this one. Remember why you're doing this in the first place.
Yes.
And also that appreciation that it won't necessarily be easy or instant to get to that why that you had. So sometimes you sit there and you like go, that's what I really want to do. I imagine myself running, let's say, a boot camp like my PT has done or whatever. You've got this lovely, great big goal. And you can kind of feel like you want to be there straight away, but there is sometimes a gap. It takes a little bit of time to get to certain places, which we said a moment ago.
Well, we live in this world of like immediate gratification.
Yeah.
If I want something, I can have it.
Or Amazon next time.
Amazon, I can have it same day delivered from Amazon.
Yeah.
If I want, I don't have to go to McDonald's anymore. I can just get a Deliveroo.
Yeah.
And it can be within 15 minutes. So we live in this world and we've learnt this habit of immediate gratification. But the reality of building a FitPro business, and yes, you are in business. If you only want just 2 or 3 clients part-time, you're still in business, just like Nike are in business, then I've lost my train of thought.
It does take time.
It does take time. There we go.
Remind yourself why you wanted to qualify in the first place and make it really important. Like the more vivid you can remind yourself of that goal.
It's like at the beginning of this episode, beginning of last episode, quite almost on every episode, I like, oh, that's why we started Parallel. I always remind myself why we started Parallel, because that keeps the thirst, the hunger for like, actually, my job is to help people not just learn, revise, pass and qualify, but go beyond 18 months.
Yes. Yeah.
That's the thing.
That's actually it.
And I can pick out names, not just like loads of names, but David Lowsby, Izzy, Gareth, Sean. I know these lads and girls, lads and girls, guys and girls that we've qualified and they're still active 4, 5, 6 years on.
Absolutely. Yeah, exactly. Because they're clear on why they're doing it in the first place. And also, the brighter it is, the easier it is to overcome all those obstacles along the way. I really like this as an analogy. It's kind of like in Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
Right. So in Lord of the Rings, you can do the accent if you want to. But it's like retrieving the precious ring.
No, you do it. You do it.
My precious.
It
was so important
to
Frodo that he would go to hell and back for it. And he just kept pushing forward.
He didn't go to hell. Where did he go?
I don't know. I've not really watched it. Where did he go?
Comment below. Let us know where. I'm not going to tell you because I don't know.
I just know that he had lots of adventures along the way.
I think it was Mordor.
It wasn't easy.
It wasn't easy.
Whatever it was.
Yes.
Wherever he was going, my point is, it wasn't easy.
And you've seen the cheesy Facebook meme of straight line. I'm here. Here's my goal. Straight line. But the reality is, it's like this. We know that. But for some reason, we're surprised that when it does go, it does go a bit Pete Tong. We go, oh, damn it, I didn't see that coming. But actually, we can preempt this. We can foresee the future. It isn't going to be easy. It isn't going to be straightforward. We are going to get knocked off, and that's okay. And again, cheesy as it is, classic Rocky, it's how you get back up.
Hey.
But it's
rather
true.
than just turning around and going back to start.
It's true, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, so remind yourself of why you started. You had I'd imagine, a clear transformation. You were inspired by somebody. Fitness, nutritional mindset for some reason took over your life and helped you through something. Maybe that's an element of physical pain or emotional pain. I don't know. Hundreds of different reasons why. But why did you decide to phone up a training provider and go, I want to be a PT or I want to be a Pilates instructor? And when you know that reason why, you just remind yourself. Simple.
The brighter that is, the easier it is to overcome all the obstacles on the way. So they are the 4.
There we go.
And if you apply these principles, and I mean apply all 4 of them, do them all straight away. If you're brand new and don't know where to start, then apply them straight away and you will honestly know where to start.
So number 1 was having a very clear goal, sat nav, get really laser-like focus
goals
on
and numbers.
Then it was about getting a coach, getting a mentor, somebody to show you and guide you along the route. Number 3 was focus on solid foundations and how can you kickstart out the gates and get your confidence and experience up. And number 4 was know your reason why. For me, they're all important, but number 1, goals and numbers, bam. I think if you get that nailed and be laser-like focused, then alongside number 4, you're off. So
yes, exactly.
Drop a comment below. Let us know your thoughts, feelings, and emotions around this. If you do have any questions about kickstarting, getting out the gates, then reach out, because that's something that we do at Parallel. We help FitPros get out the gates and get past 18 months.
To drop a comment.
And reach out.
If you're on iTunes, leave a
A
review.
5-star review.
Leave us a review. It does help us reach more FitPros like you. If you're on YouTube, make sure you join the 10,000 have already subscribed.
10,000. It's almost like 10,500, which is ridiculous. We had a massive growth in YouTube, and that's thanks to you.
So subscribe. Give us a little thumbs up.
And we'll see you on the next episode. See you later.
Hi, I'm Neil Bergman.
And I'm Hayley Bergman. Over the last 10 years, we've helped thousands of fitness professionals to get qualified, learn with simplicity, and coach clients with confidence.
We're the first to say that learning and being a FitPro doesn't have to be hard work, and that with the right structure, support, and resources, you can become a confident and knowledgeable fitness professional that is dedicated to more.
So how do you learn, qualify, and kickstart as a FitPro? This is the FitPro Sessions podcast with Parallel Coaching.